Today is the day before the big day for Diddy. You know, I'm getting sick and tired of Diddy. I've been sick and tired of him. But this never going to be a case like this again. Every day, something is happening with this guy. And it's crazy. Thank you for coming in. I know we want to get some people in here later than I normally do. And I want to thank everybody who's here so far. But to continue with what I was saying, and before I get to what Diddy's big win was, okay? I want you to know that I've taken a week off and I thoroughly was enjoying it, okay? Now, I enjoy coming here and giving you guys my perspective, all right? But you know what this case has done for me? Every time I got to talk about Diddy, it puts me right back in MDC, where I spent 30 months, okay? And, you know, I don't want to live in the past. I live for the future. Whatever amount of time that I have left on this planet. But with everything that's going on in the world today, all right, we got a government shutdown. Lawmakers, and lawmakers. We are being so controlled that I can't stand it. All right? The world doesn't know how much our country, land of the free, that we are being controlled. Now look at, we got a shutdown, and what's happening? All government workers are not getting paid, except for who? Your lawmakers. But nobody gives a shit about that, do they? Okay? They get paid. But everybody, all the people on the bottom end who need that paycheck every week, they're not getting paid. And here we are with this idiot punk Diddy. Folks, I want you to know, although I haven't been on in the past week, I have one person that I watch, and the only person I watch reporting on Diddy is Ticket. Ticket is the only guy beside me that you will get the truth, the facts, and respect. There's a guy, okay, that gives you respect. And he'll put you in your place if you're wrong, okay? And you write him nasty things, okay? He'll put you right down. But he's very respectful. And he does a lot of work, puts in a lot of hours, so I want to give a shout out to Ticket, okay? What did Diddy win? Let me tell you what he won. He won, he could wear his civilian clothes in the court. Like, who really cares? That's the only thing he's won. Does he think that's going to make a difference? Well, let him wear it. It's not a big deal. But that's what he won. Thank you, Hotline. Don't play with me, folks, because I'm not in the mood, all right? Okay, people, if you got something against me, anybody, come here and bring it me person to person. I'm 80 years old, but don't think I'm somebody who's going to fall over easily. I don't do that. So I don't want to get into all that stuff. All right, tomorrow, we don't know what Judge Submarinian is going to sentence Diddy to. We have no idea. All right? This judge is in a very, very peculiar situation because he's seen and has heard from everybody during the trial. And now you got Diddy's stylist, what's his name, Nash, all right, on national TV, which I'm sure the judge has to see all these things. But don't think that this judge, you know, when you're in a courthouse, you got these courtrooms all around, okay? And then you got the judges' chambers, they get together, they have lunch, they talk, okay? And he's a fairly new judge, so he's asking other judges for their advice too, okay? Yes, it's not often that somebody with a Mann Act gets a lot of time. But this is a very different Mann Act. Diddy's lawyers are saying, oh, he was like a guy, porn guy producing these things. No, it wasn't, folks. And what did the government really want? They got the videos, they got everything. They know that it was not for porn. They got everything. All they wanted was the names of the people, and I'm talking people that were politicians, very powerful people. Those are the people the government wanted, just like an Epstein case, and you're never going to know who they are. Okay? Yeah, see all these other people reporting this nonsense, lies, and so much stuff on YouTube that it disgusts me. So I've only been listening to Ticket. All right? I get the same paperwork that he does. I miss you all too, folks. I get the same paperwork. We get it off Pacer. We get it off the court document. Okay? My son's able to do that. He sends it to me, and I'll read it. Okay? I'm not going to sit here and read you page after page. Okay? I don't do that there. I just give you my thoughts of who I am. Who I am is a man that tells you the truth. And tomorrow, Punk Diddy, and don't forget, I'm the first one to call him a punk. If you go back in my video, you'll see that, all right? Because anybody that abuses women in the way and the manner that he did, and it wasn't just women, it was men. I mean, look at what he did with this guy that's on national news here, who testified in court too. The guy Nash, I can't remember all the names. All right, the guy who was his stylist. So I don't know how much time, but I want to thank you all when I asked you to put in the comments of how much time. All right. Thank you, Annette. Yes, I was born around New York. Violence, violence, violence. You're right, Lanya. Okay, you're correct. Okay? That's the thing that's going to destroy Diddy. Now he wants to talk to the judge, which is good, because most defendants at sentencing, they get that opportunity to talk to the judge. And what most defendants do is they take full responsibility for all their actions. Will Diddy do that? Because that could hurt him in his appeal. Because then he's confessing to everything. So it's a complicated situation this guy's in tomorrow. What do you folks think? All right, most people want 20 years or more. And he should get it. The American public overall wants this guy to do time. I'm adorable, huh? Thank you. Yes, this afternoon I'm still drinking my coffee with espresso. So what's going to happen tomorrow is we're all going to be there with our ears listening to what's going to happen to Diddy tomorrow. I'm not going to make a prediction. I have made my prediction. I have a number in my head. Okay? Can you guess what that number is? Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. By the way, folks, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. Okay? I would appreciate it. I want to come to you. I want to bring you positive information, content that I have, people that I'm going to be interviewing. But everybody wants to talk about Diddy. So I'm saying, hey, I'll talk about Diddy. Diddy is the news. I had Live Nation, I stopped watching Fox. I used to watch Fox all the time. I stopped it. Don't want to watch them anymore. But Live Nation, they give good reporting, and every person that comes on, hour by hour, all right, they don't come on with the same stuff that the last person came on. So they're good. Cooperstown, oh my God. Cooperstown, New York, Baseball Hall of Fame. I've been there many times, my friend. All right? Nice area up there in Cooperstown. Actually, upstate New York is quite a beautiful area. If they didn't have the winter, I would have never left there. I don't like winter. I don't like the cold. All right? I had a lot of people from New York, my home state. Yeah, folks, so tomorrow, we just have to wait and see what happens. Well, everybody's been waiting for a long time to see what this guy does. And this judge has got big pieces, and I think he already knows how much time he wants to give Diddy, and I don't think by Diddy talking to the judge is going to change his mind, okay? Now I'll give you, folks, do a thing for me and leave in the comments what you think, how many years that I'm thinking that he will get. Now you got the probation office that came up with 5 to 7 years. You have the prosecution, Jay Clayton, who is Trump's guy, that wants 11 years and 1 month. And then you have Diddy's lawyers asking for 14 months, which is literally time served, and he would walk tomorrow. Okay? I don't think that's going to happen. So somewhere in between all those numbers, all right, I'm going to be here giving you, I'm going to try to be giving you a breakdown. I'm going to have it here, folks, tomorrow. So come to me tomorrow. I'll give you a breakdown as I hear from the courtroom. All right? Hope I could do it because I'm not that tech savvy. I'm going to try it. All right? My son told me it's easy, but I got to figure it out, folks. I hate technology like more than anything else you could imagine. And so folks, please subscribe to my channel. Make sure you're here tomorrow. You folks know who the largest ecstasy distributor was? His name is Louis Ziskin. I spent time with him up in Lompoc. And would you believe he lives right down the block from me? I'm going to be interviewing Louis. He did 12 years in prison. You're going to hear some very amazing stories from this guy. And then there's going to be a major announcement. I don't know if it's going to be 2 weeks, 2 months on something. But when that happens, I'll be interviewing George Gallo, Nick Vallanaga, and I'm going to be having some actors that you all know that I'll be interviewing. Those are the things that I like to do and bring you positive stuff. Because Diddy is very negative information. Our government is totally negative. How can you trust anybody you listen to on the news? How can you trust? There's not one person in the U.S. House of Representatives that I trust. You can't. They lie to you all the time. Love J40, my God, love, thank you so much. I appreciate that there. All right? You know, folks, I haven't asked nobody for the thanks, and this Lovejoy came up $49.90. That's awesome. Thank you. Boy, that's great. I appreciate you. All right? Do you folks want to see more about my life? Things that I've done as a Hollywood fixer? Do you want to hear more from celebrities that I could interview? All right? Write down in the comments some celebrities that you think. Let's go with the younger ones, okay? Let's get the younger ones. What do you think of Patrick Schwarzenegger? What do you think of Scott Eastwood, Clint Eastwood's son? Tell me what you think. Tom Cruise is great, but he's too old, my friend, okay? I gave you a couple names right now, possibility of actors that will play me in my book, okay? In my movie, all right? Which is about my book, right here. You all should know it, The Accidental Gangster. From insurance salesman, a Hollywood fixer. How did that ever happen in my life? I had no idea. I did things in my life I can't imagine. How did I do all this? How did I meet all these people? But I did, folks. It's crazy. I'm a small town boy from upstate New York, Rome, New York. I got to know people that I saw on TV before any social media. Really, it was an amazing life. I, folks, it's crazy. When I think back to the people I know, and don't think, I have followed other court cases. Nothing ever like Diddy, where I'm public with it, okay? I have watched a lot of my friends' cases indicted on RICO. And then I was indicted on RICO. So I know what RICO's all about. I know what doing time in prison is like. I had no problems in prison. I was always in general population. Diddy is not in general population. So, all this stuff you hear about, all this crap of him in prison, folks, I talked to the prison guards. I know what the hell's going on there. And it's now everything that you're hearing. He's what they call a special housing for, there's only 20 inmates, only 20 inmates in that unit. High profile cases, maybe some cops, people that were police officers or whatever, because you got them that they've been indicted, okay? It's not a one-sided thing. And so, will they ever put Diddy in general population? Well, first of all, what's going to happen? Tomorrow he'll be sentenced. So that's not going to be the end that we're going to stop hearing from Diddy, okay? That's only going to be probably the beginning, because as soon as he's sentenced, then his lawyers are going to start appealing. His appellate lawyer is this gal Shapiro. And she's really good. She's one of the best in appellate law. So I watched her on a show yesterday, and she admittedly said winning appeals is very, very difficult, okay? And I think the Judge Submarinian, the only mistake he made was not sequestering the jury. If he would have sequestered the jury, we would have had a different verdict. I guarantee that. A lot of people say they didn't see the RICO. I saw the RICO. I saw the predicate acts, but the jurors didn't see it. How? Why they didn't see it is because they didn't feel that all these witnesses, these girls against Diddy, that they didn't feel that they were they felt that these girls enjoyed everything and wanted to do it and were there, okay? But you gotta remember, the law says once you say no, it's no. Anything after that is a crime. And he's done that repeatedly. Thank you, Don, for the $2. I appreciate that, folks. Okay? So, folks, I gotta get up because it's 10 a.m. East Coast time. It'll be 7 a.m. my time. And I'll be here with my computer and you guys on my phone here, bringing you information of what's going on in the courthouse. So make sure I get up, okay? That means I gotta get up back at least 5 a.m., which I normally am, okay? Today I woke up at 5 and I looked at the clock. I said, why am I getting up? And I went back to sleep and I slept until 8. You know, we all gotta get a life someplace here. Oh, folks, by the way, if you haven't subscribed again, please subscribe to my channel, okay? Because you're going to want to hear all my other content, all my stories that I have. I have prison stories. I was, like I told you, in general population. I was well liked and respected in prison. You think Diddy's being respected in prison? That's why he's not in general population, because he would not be respected. You have any idea if he was in general population what the other inmates be doing to him? That's why he's in a special housing unit. And no, once he appealed, the appeal could take maybe a year or more. So he's still going to be in MDC crying the blues about how bad the food is, the environment's terrible. Give me a break. You're in prison, you idiot. What do you think it is? A spa? Okay, you think you're on an island? No, it's prison. It's what it's supposed to be. Take it like a man, Diddy, because you're not a man. Okay? Never were. Yeah, you're a tough guy. You could beat women up. All right? I hope the judge shows no mercy either. He doesn't deserve anything. And I don't care what he says to the judge. Whatever he says, you can count on it being a lie. Okay? Because if Diddy gets out, all these victims that testified against him, they're going to be in very severe trouble. Okay? Their lives are in danger. And they know that, because they know Diddy. All these other rumors about all these people around him through the years that have accidentally passed away through this pneumonia, okay, including his ex-wife, Kim Porter. Do you think, all right, what about Tupac? What about Biggie? We keep hearing about these things, but I don't see the hard evidence coming. You got Keefe D going to trial next year in Las Vegas on a state case. Is the federal government investigating that Diddy paid $1 million to get rid of Tupac? Is he? Paying $1 million, folks. There's got to be a money trail someplace. Has the government figured that out? I don't know. But I gotta say, I gotta think that they're investigating that there. And maybe they already know and they're not telling us. I don't think the police in Las Vegas are doing anything about that, okay? I don't think, the police department is not as well equipped as our FBI and our other national police organizations. They don't have the people, the time that the FBI has. Got to remember, there's over 35,000 employees of the FBI. You got agents in every city around the country, okay? So they got the agents, they got the time, and they got the money. Yeah. Because money's everything that makes this world go around. That's what we live for, right? to make another payday? I'm 80 years old. I'm looking, people helping me here, like scale with 49.99, the other person with $2, okay? I used to carry thousands of dollars of cash in my pocket and money all around my apartment in cash. But when I got out of the life after I finished my time in prison, all that changed. I got a whole new life here. I got a second chance. And I'm grateful. I learned to be grateful for what I do have. And I learned that from my son Anthony, okay? Because I expected, when I got out of prison, I expected people coming over with envelopes full of cash. Didn't happen, folks. Who was there for me? With my 3 children. Nobody else. And I take that back. My friends in London came through, okay? Not my Italian friends in New York. So I know the game, folks. I know about life. So I'm grateful for everything that I do have. And I'm grateful for every day that I have left on this earth. I don't know how much longer I got. Nobody knows that anyways, okay? So be grateful for the thing you do have, all right? Folks, you keep asking me, I keep getting a lot of people in the comment, how do I get an autographed copy of my book? And I tell you how to do it. Folks, if you go into my profile, which most people don't do, I don't know why. I go into people's profiles, I want to know about them. And I don't know much about technology, but I know how to do that. So you go into my profile, you go to my website, www.theaccidentalgangster.com. You'll find more information there about me that you could imagine, okay? It's a great website. Go there. Look at it. You want to know who I am, more about me, okay? And you want to purchase my book, it's right there. You go to my website, it'll take you to my, that's where you could purchase an autographed copy. It's the only place that you can get an autographed copy, because those come to me, I get the order, and I write you something nice, and I mail it to you. Otherwise, it'll take you to Amazon. You can purchase my book on Amazon or on Barnes & Noble, okay? You know, I'm a funny guy. You ask me something, I give it to you right away. You want to buy my book, you write to me, say, I want to be out of your book. I want to read it. How do I get an autographed copy? I tell you, and then the people, they don't order it, okay? Yeah, Don, you could keep asking for the Epstein file. You notice how nobody's talking about that no more? No. Right now, you got the shutdown. Government shutdown. You got the war going on in Ukraine. It's worse than it was before. You got the war in Israel. Okay? Got all this stuff going. They distract. That's all the government does. They don't want to talk about these other things. You're right, Gina. All distracting information that we get. So, folks, I don't know what more I could tell you today. I wish the sentence, he already happened. All right, I hope they put him away for 10 years or more. I hope the judge listens to the government on this one, because the government is right. All right? And everybody's talking about Trump pardoning him. I even heard on Live Nation where they had an attorney talking about the Diddy case today. And he talks about how the Mann Act is no big deal. Nobody ever gotten sentenced to Mann. All right? But he did feel that Diddy will get some years. How many years? We're going to know tomorrow. So folks, I want to thank you all for coming here today. It seems the longer I stay, the more people keep coming. All right? I'm going to tell you, all right, let me just, all right, I'm going to stick around a few minutes more here, okay? And I hate talking about politics. It's the most, this politics and religion, you can't talk about those subjects and become a winner, no matter what side you're on, okay? Because people are going to love you, and then the other people are going to hate you, all right? You know, what's funny, I got a couple comments, people calling me racist. They're calling Judge Subterranean racist. Diddy keeps wanting to use this race card. It's a no burger, folks. He's going no place with that. And anybody wants to call me racist, you don't know me, okay? Since I was a child, I've been friends with black people and all other people. I'm not one racist bone in my body. And I don't think there's one racist bone in Judge Subterranean's body either. Or somebody wants to go on YouTube and say it. That's the kind of garbage you get. That's why I come to you and give you the truth. I can't lie to you. I don't lie. You know why I don't lie? Because when you lie, you got to remember what you lied about. And people forget that. If you tell the truth, you never have to remember about what you said, okay? Because it's truthful. All right, folks, that's it. I'm going to, boy, I looked up 107 people. That's the most I think I've had in a room at a time, okay? Trump forgot all his lies. Yeah, well, when you got billions of dollars, it doesn't make a difference. Diddy's no special guy in prison, folks. Diddy is just another inmate. Do you see all the other inmates arguing, saying, oh, there's maggots in my food? No. Okay? Because there are none. And you know, maggots don't kill you anyways, okay? It's just a larvae from the flies. But they got all the precautions in the kitchen, all right, to prevent that there. Is the food good? No. Food's horrible in prison. But then again, it's prison. But you don't have to worry about the prison. Diddy don't have to worry about eating prison food because his commissary is flush. So he could buy, just like I did. I lived on tuna fish and mackerel for 5 years. Tuna fish and mackerel. And, you know, I would mix my tuna different ways. I'd buy an onion or tomato, whatever I could buy, you know, for somebody in the kitchen. Thank you, Moonchild. Thank you, I appreciate that. Buy whatever I wanted, then I would do my mixture. I'd be the first one at the microwave when everybody's going out to breakfast in the morning. I didn't go to the mess hall. I didn't go to the mess hall. I went to the microwave. And because if you didn't get there in the morning, forget about it. After breakfast, and there'd be lines of people getting to the microwave oven to do something, making their food. And so anyway, so I didn't go to the mess hall much. Don't think I didn't go there, I did, okay? Sometimes I go there for lunch, just to meet with my friend, okay? Oh, but the guards, they said it was different. They said Spado's meeting with his own people, with my crew in prison. Yeah, I had a crew in prison. I did have a few guys, what do you want? Okay. You gotta be able to defend yourself if you're in prison. But I didn't have that problem. People came to me. Cartel guys in the Mexican cartel came to me for advice, wanting to do business when we all got out. You had no idea. There's a lot of opportunity in prison if you know how to use it, okay? And if you want to use it. Because what are you meeting with? You're meeting with other gangsters. And you're living, sleeping, eating with other gangsters all day long. Then the day that you get out, you cannot be with any felons. Can't be with any felons or you get violated. Will Diddy be with other felons once he finishes his time? Think about that. Will he get violated? He's very much in a position to be. Because the guys who work for him, a lot of them are felons. So he's got a severe problem after he's done with whatever time he gets. What else could I say, folks? The sun is shining. I live in California, and I love it here. This is my home for 50 years. 50. Long time. You know, folks, it seems like yesterday that I joined the United States Army, that I enlisted. I was 18 years old. Seems like yesterday. And here it is. 60-something years later. That's how quick time goes by. So no matter how old we are, where we live, who we are all limited on the amount of time that we have on this earth. So, why not make every minute of your time happy by making other people happy? I tell you this all the time. Do you do it? But folks, I want to leave you on that note, okay? Something just came in on a docket from Combs, huh? Okay, so my son is telling me to stay here. Stand by, folks, okay? Let's get this information, see what Diddy's doing. Be patient, folks. Let's hang on here a minute. Don't go away, please. You're going with something just came in. The defense final filing before sentencing push. Okay, my son is texting me. People, and says the government. Hang on, folks. I gotta get my computer so I can read. Anthony, you got an email. That's Anthony. Okay, I don't know what happened. All right, let me get this computer. Bear with me, folks. I got the slowest computer in the world. I gotta get one of those Apple computers. Okay. Well, it's good I got it out because I'm going to have to do this tomorrow. All right, folks, to bring you this stuff. Just waiting for it to come up. Hang in there, folks. You're not going to want to miss this. Let's see what Diddy's doing now. Is this a last-minute thing? Because they keep coming out with more stuff. I don't know what it is. Like I said, folks, I got the slowest computer. Why can't I open this damn thing? There. All right, here we go. The defense final argument before sentencing pushes the judge to ignore acquitted conduct and give Sean Combs only a short-term, near-time served 14 months. Says the government is trying to relitigate sex trafficking, rape, and coercion claims that the jury rejected. I don't think the jury rejected that. That's what he got convicted of. Cites the 2024 Guideline Amendment 1B 3.3, barring use acquitted conduct to raise the guideline. Okay, well, the judge doesn't have to do that. Agrees all the violent coercion evidence, Ventura, Jane, etc., is off limits because it was not part of the two-man act. Now that's a little confusing. Opposes every enhancement the government seeks, especially the rape, cross-reference, fraud, coercion, vulnerable victim, leader, organized, and instruction, calling them factually unsupported. Stresses that the National Medium Man Act sentence is 12 months for first offenders. Even the 70 to 87 month PSR range is too high because it's all built on it. They're trying like hell, folks. They're trying like hell to sway this judge's mind. They're wrong there. They don't want to talk. They're the ones who said that their client was very violent. They said that in the courtroom. That's going to be the thing that's going to destroy Diddy. His violence. But you know what? He's paying his lawyers. Yeah, I heard the price, over $30 million so far. All right? They got a cash cow. They don't want to end this. They want this to go on so they can just constantly be taking his money until he doesn't have any money. And that's what lawyers do, okay? That's why most of the inmates who have money, when they go into prison and when they come out, they don't have anything because the government takes it. The lawyers take it. I'm sure the lawyer or the government, somebody's going to take it. Urges the judge to follow the jury's limited verdict and give a modest just sentence. Give me a break here, okay? In short, the defense asked the court to sentence only for transporting consenting adults for sex, not for the alleged violence and coercion. Ooh. Well, I hope that's just their last minute appeal here, folks, because another thing's going nowhere. But they're trying. What are you going to do? You see, when this ends tomorrow, if Diddy gets time, Mark Agnello and those other lawyers, they're done. They can't feed off of Diddy no more. Now it goes to Shapiro, the appellate lawyer. She gets fed now. You understand how the system goes? Okay? So we over here, we're talking about one thing, what he's going to get sentenced to, how bad Diddy was. We talk about all these things. But the lawyers, the defense lawyers, all right, they concentrating on one thing because it's not often, it's very seldom that they get somebody with the kind of money that Diddy has. And so they're just going to milk it, and milk it to the last minute that they could. Well, folks, you got that fresh off the press here on Stories with Ori. So, folks, when I come to you, I give you facts. Just read it. That's what Diddy's lawyers just wrote to the judge. See, that goes on Pacer right away. I thank my son catching that while we were alive. I want to thank my son Anthony profusely. Folks, you haven't met my son. He doesn't like me talking about him over here. But I got to be doing that. So, folks, you're going to see me tomorrow. I'll be here live with Diddy in the courtroom, giving you a breakdown of what's happening in the courtroom with Punk Diddy. And tell everybody out there that Ori Spado is calling him a punk. Let's get all these tough guys he's got come over here to Beverly Hills. I welcome them. Folks, on that note, I want to thank you all for coming here today. All right? God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Have a blessed day. And do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. All my love and respect to you all for coming here. Thank you all. See you tomorrow morning.